Hello and welcome to this week's edition of CTN Community Update. Election Day is next Tuesday, November 6th, but many Coon Rapids voters are beating the lines and casting a ballot early. CTN's Jennifer Anderson has a look at early turnout.
Feels good to take responsibility and vote.
Like thousands of their Coon Rapids neighbors, Anthony and Sharon Miltich are taking advantage of the chance to vote before Election Day.
It's the opportunity to vote early, which I think is wonderful and we should have more of throughout the country. Gave me the chance to do it today rather than later in the week when things get busy.
From now until Election Day, any eligible voter in Coon Rapids can come to City Hall, fill out their ballot, and feed it into the machine.
It's more to service the residents because it provides them a longer period of time to cast their ballot.
Coon Rapids City Clerk Joan Lensmeyer says the early traffic is even higher this year than during the last presidential election.
This year, we're seeing about a 10% increase over 2016, and 2016 numbers were very high.
Early voting is up in Coon Rapids and across the state. More than 410,000 ballots have already been collected in Minnesota. The Secretary of State says that's a 177% increase since 2014. That was the year absentee voting first became available to everyone without needing to provide an excuse to vote early.
The circumstances we're living in today feel more extreme than any period, and I lived through the Vietnam era and saw a great deal of division there as well, but I think that's part of it. People are motivated, and I'm grateful for that. I think we should be paying more attention.
For Anthony and Sharon, it's a civic duty they never want to miss.
I feel proud that Minnesota has always been strong and smart and involved, and I want to be part of that.
For CTN Update, I'm Jennifer Anderson.
As of late this week, more than 2,000 ballots have been collected at City Hall. Early voting continues Saturday and Monday at City Hall. On Election Day, your assigned poll location is open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Locally, all three incumbents running for the City Council are doing so unopposed. Mayor Jerry Cook, Ward 3 Councilmember Wade Demmer, and Ward 5 Councilmember Brad Johnson are all seeking re-election. Moving to county offices, Sean Broom and Mandy Meissner are seeking the District 4 seat on the Anoka County Board. District 5 Commissioner Mike Gamache and District 7 Commissioner Scott Schulte are running unopposed, along with Sheriff James Stewart and County Attorney Tony Palumbo. Turning to the state legislative races, Peggy Scott faces Catherine Eckhard in District 35B. Bill Marish and Zach Stevenson square off in District 36A. Jermaine Bozzio is challenging Melissa Hortman in District 36B. And it's Anthony Wilder versus Aaron Kogel in District 37A. Again, polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. The Andover City Council could soon decide whether or not to put a referendum to voters for an expansion to the city's community center. The council recently voted to move forward with an expansion of the Andover Community Center, which could cost up to $19 million. The most expensive component would be a second ice arena. Plans also call for a walking track, multi-purpose meeting rooms, and a basketball court-sized area for multiple sports. The Andover YMCA is considering an expansion of its own to make space for additional programs. Anoka Ramsey Community College is teaming up with a locally owned and operated construction company to help workers improve their skills. The college recently signed a new Minnesota Job Skills Partnership Grant agreement with Kraus Anderson Construction Incorporated. The two-year, $394,000 grant will provide custom training and development to 500 employees within the company. The new training methods will help Kraus Anderson Construction better deal with the shortage of skilled workers. A short ramp from East River Boulevard to East River Road has been permanently closed. The slip ramp just east of Zillis Street had allowed residents in the area quick access to East River Road. However, it was in need of repairs, but any repairs would have been short-lived as the city planned to close the ramp as part of the Port Riverwalk redevelopment, which will start next year. Close to 200 people marched through Bunker Hills Regional Park last Saturday, wearing little more than shorts or long underwear. The Nearly Naked Ruck March is a day of fun focused on supporting military veterans through the difficult transition to civilian life. CTN's Dan Carpenter explains how some heavy lifting is saving lives.
Suicide is a very serious issue for veterans. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention says 130,000 veterans have died by suicide since 9/11. Those taking part in the Nearly Naked Ruck March are looking to make a positive impact.
It's a cool October day, yet this crowd is shedding layers.
Well, some people come out here with nothing but shorts on.
Helping to keep them warm.
This rucksack's about 60 pounds.
Rucksacks filled with food, clothes, and toiletries for donation.
I had some friends from my work, my civilian employment, that donated, so I tried to accommodate and add for every dollar they did, add a pound.
Weight these civilians, veterans, and active military will carry for miles.
It's going to be heavy enough in 10 miles.
This Nearly Naked Ruck March and others like it across the country are raising money for a 14-week transition program for military veterans.
I started 23rd Veteran 4 years ago now. I was in the Marine Corps Infantry, and it was about 7 years after combat that I struggled really bad with PTSD. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was related to combat or combat stress.
Then, in 2012, the Department of Veterans Affairs published statistics showing 22 veterans were dying by suicide every day.
A 23rd veteran now referenced somebody who has been in that situation. They're still here, and they're helping other veterans.
Many participating in this march know the pain of losing someone to suicide too well.
We've lost people close to us and in our unit as well, so being able to do something that will be able to make a difference and help them transition is a really great thing for us.
Helping those who have served navigate the effects of combat on the mind and find happiness in civilian life.
Veterans from this part of Minnesota enrolled in the 23rd Veteran Program are hiking and rock climbing in North Carolina, but they'll return for 13 weeks of transition training. Reporting from Bunker Hills Regional Park, I'm Dan Carpenter for CTN Update.
After 4 Nearly Naked Ruck Marches in the U.S. this year, 23rd Veteran has raised close to $160,000. If you'd like to donate, we have a link on our website, ctncoonrapids.com. The Coon Rapids Super Senior Club is holding its annual Bazaar and Flea Market next Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Civic Center. You can find everything from crafts and a flea market to a doll collection and a Christmas room. There's also a bake sale, refreshments, and raffles. Proceeds from the bazaar go to help support the needy in our community. Theater students at Anoka-Ramsey Community College are taking the stage for their fall production.
People from Maine are different, that they live life the way life should be.
Students are performing the romantic comedy Almost Maine, which is set in a town so far north it's almost in Canada. There are 8 vignettes that are set on a cold night in the middle of winter with the northern lights hovering above.
Well, this show follows 8 different stories about people falling in and out of love, mostly falling in. Some are newer loves, some are loves that have come out of friendship, some are older loves through married couples, and just finding ways of falling back in love.
Almost Maine is being staged this weekend and next at Anoka-Ramsey. Performances start at 7:30 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online or at the door on the night of the performance. Dozens of costume characters converged on the Coon Rapids Ice Center last weekend. More than 200 people turned out for the annual Spooky Skate Sunday evening. Both kids and adults took to the ice in their costumes for some skating fun. There were also several games, including a ball toss and bowling. Looks like some great costumes and a lot of family fun. If you're looking for something to do with those pumpkins you carved for Halloween, look no further than the Coon Rapids Recycling Center. All pumpkins without paint, along with fall gourds, can go in the organics container at the Recycling Center. There is no charge. The center is open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And a reminder, this weekend we fall back. Daylight saving time ends, so set those clocks back 1 hour before you go to bed. The fire department also reminds you to change the batteries in your smoke detectors. That's going to do it for our show today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again next week.